Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling Bitcoin hitting a record high.
Yeah, Bitcoin is on fire right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've got a very intriguing source to break it all down.
Intriguing might be an understatement.
Right. The source is titled Pasted Text.
Yep. Pasted text, not your typical financial report title.
But hey, sometimes the most valuable insights come from the most unexpected places.
Exactly. You never know where you'll find that golden nugget of information.
So pasted text it is. And get this, it's actually in Turkish.
Yeah, I gotta give Google Translate a workout for this one.
But even though it's in Turkish, the financial data is global.
Absolutely. Numbers speak a universal language. And the number everyone's buzzing about Bitcoin hit an all-time high of $106,533.
Whoa. I remember when Bitcoin was like a couple $100.
Right. It's mind-blowing to see how far it's come.
So what's fueling this rocket ride?
Well, there are a few things at play here.
Okay, lay it on us.
First, there's the whole psychological game of the market. When something starts to surge, everyone wants to jump on board.
Yeah, that fear of missing out, right? FOMO.
Exactly. And lately, there's been a lot to fuel that FOMO.
Like what?
Well, for starters, you've got big names like President Trump weighing in.
Trump. What did he say?
He actually suggested that the U.S. should consider a Bitcoin reserve.
Wow. I didn't hear about that.
Well, whether or not that actually happens is almost beside the point.
I could see that.
That kind of statement from a major political figure sends shockwaves through the market.
Makes you think twice about what you thought you knew, right?
Totally. It's like suddenly Bitcoin is on the radar of the establishment, and that gets investors excited.
Okay, so we've got the Trump effect adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Absolutely. There's also the whole MicroStrategy situation.
MicroStrategy. Refresh my memory on that one.
MicroStrategy, ticker symbol MSTR. They recently got listed on the Nasdaq 100.
Okay. And that's a big deal.
Huge deal. The Nasdaq 100 is like the cool kids table in the stock market world.
Got it.
And MicroStrategy is a major Bitcoin player. So their listing on the Nasdaq 100 is seen as a major endorsement of Bitcoin.
Makes sense.
It's like saying, hey, Bitcoin is legitimate enough to hang out with the big players now.
So we've got Trump talking about Bitcoin reserves and MicroStrategy joining the Nasdaq 100.
Exactly. A perfect storm of positive news driving Bitcoin to the moon.
But I've also heard some rumblings about a potential correction, like maybe this party's about to end.
Well, even the hottest trends have to cool off eventually.
Is that what's happening with Bitcoin?
It's hard to say for sure, but there are some signs that things might be shifting.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, for starters, even though Bitcoin hit that record high, it actually opened in New York at a slightly lower price, around $103,700.
Still a crazy high number, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. But that jump from Friday's close was only 2.36%.
I see.
Not as big of an increase as some folks were expecting.
So maybe a sign that the momentum is slowing down.
Possibly. Plus, we're starting to see some tech companies issue warnings about the market overheating.
Uh-oh, like the party's getting a little too wild.
Yeah, kinda.
So is it time to hit the panic button?
Not necessarily. But it is a good time to be extra cautious.
What do you mean?
Well, this is where technical analysis comes in.
Technical analysis.
Yeah.
Always makes my head spin a little.
I know it can be a bit daunting, but think of it this way. Technical indicators are like the gauges on your car's dashboard.
Okay, I like that analogy.
They give you clues about the market's performance and help you make informed decisions.
So what are these indicators telling us about Bitcoin right now?
Well, one indicator we're watching closely is the daily RSI,
RSI. That's
Relative Strength Index.
right, the RSI. What's that telling us?
The RSI is basically a momentum indicator, and right now it's hinting that Bitcoin might be getting a bit overbought.
Overbought, meaning?
Meaning the price has gone up so quickly that it might be due for a pullback.
Like it needs a breather.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the RSI flashing a yellow light, so to speak.
Right. And then there's the candlestick patterns.
Candlestick patterns. Now that sounds even more complicated.
They're not as scary as they sound. Think of them as visual representations of price movements over a specific period of time.
Okay. And what are they telling us about Bitcoin?
Well, there's a particular pattern called an inverted hammer that's forming on the daily chart.
Inverted hammer, what does that mean?
It's a signal that a potential reversal in price direction could be on the horizon.
A reversal. So like from up to down.
Potentially.
Yikes. So what does this all mean for someone who's watching all this Bitcoin madness and maybe thinking about dipping their toes in?
It means that Bitcoin is a volatile market,
Yeah, we definitely know that much.
but it also means that there's potential for big gains and big losses.
So proceed with caution.
Absolutely. Do your research, understand the risks, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Wise words. So to wrap it all up, Bitcoin is at a record high thanks to a mix of exciting news and market hype.
But there are also some warning signs flashing that things might be cooling off.
The RSI and that inverted hammer are giving us some things to think about.
Exactly. And that leads us to a question for all of you listening.
Yeah, hit us with it.
What indicators are you watching to make informed decisions in this wild and exciting Bitcoin market?
That's a great question. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about the market, the better equipped you'll be to navigate its ups and downs.
Right on.
So keep learning, stay informed, and always stay tuned for our next deep dive.
See you next time.